This is a demo of the PhiferScan program designed to scan material into and out of Pfeiffer's consignment inventory at Illuminite. We'll start up the program, then we'll take a look at our scanning sheet, which will assist us in carrying out a four-step transaction process for scanning material in or out of inventory. So first we've got our in and out barcodes. Then we've got the numbers 1 through 9 for the number of rolls of material. And finally at the bottom we have our OK and cancel scanning codes. So now let's look at the functionality of the program. First we scan an in or an out barcode. Next we would scan a material for whatever material we were scanning in or out of inventory. In this case we're scanning in this material. We scan a quantity of rolls of material, and we scan the OK code to confirm that the transaction was correct. Now we're going to scan the cancel code to back out to the initial screen, and this time we'll scan the out code to scan inventory out of consignment. We'll scan the material, scan a quantity, and we'll scan the OK code. And then we'll back out to the initial screen. Now let's look at how the functionality of the program would be used on an everyday basis. Say to scan material into consignment inventory. You'd scan the in barcode, then you'd scan a material, then the quantity of that material, and then the OK code. Then you'd proceed to scan the next material, the quantity of that material, and the OK code. Then another material, possibly on another pallet, another quantity, and then the OK code. And you would proceed in this manner for however many materials that you're receiving into consignment inventory. And then when you were through scanning all the materials, of course you could scan the cancel barcode to go back to the initial screen. This works the same way with the out barcode. If you're removing material from consignment inventory to be consumed, you'd scan the material, the quantity, and the OK code, and you would continue on scanning materials, quantities, and the OK code for however many materials you were consuming from consignment inventory. And of course then you would scan the cancel barcode to go back to the initial screen when you were finished. Finally, let's look at error handling in the program. There are two hard errors in the program which we'll get to in a moment, but let's start out with the in-out barcode screen. If you scan anything other than in or out at this point in the program, it just cancels the transaction and goes back to the initial screen. Now, if you scan an in or an out barcode and then scan something other than a material on the next screen, then the program kicks you back out to the initial screen. If you scan the in or out barcode and correctly scan a material, but then scan an invalid quantity or a quantity that isn't a two-digit number, then you get our first hard error of the program. The quantity of rolls must be a two-digit number, and in order to get past this error, we either have to click on the OK button or hit the Enter key on the keyboard. If we scan the in or out barcode, a material, and a correct quantity, but we fail to scan the OK or cancel code, we get our second hard error in the program. That is, the OK or cancel code was not scanned, and the transaction has been canceled. Here also we have to click the OK button or hit the Enter key on the keyboard. On a final note, you can observe that if the cancel barcode is scanned or the cancel button pressed at any point in the transaction, the entire transaction is canceled and the program returns to the initial screen.